make him feel special enough? Did I care too much? You put yourself out there again, Mark. You trusted him, and you got hurt. Why did I keep chasing after him? At some point, you have to let go. How can I ever trust again? I wonder if he still thinks about me, about what we could have had. I wonder if he misses me, because I miss him. DeAndre, before you say anything, let me speak my mind. You hurt me real bad, but we can do this. We can do it together. We can work on us. You come out here, and I just need to know that you're in this for the long haul. DeAndre? Whoa! 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 Sucker cubes! Whoa! Shut up, Steve! Jeez! Why?
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Now that we have the DeAndre Jordan stuff in the rearview mirror, we can look ahead towards the Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, which was kicked off by this home run derby last night, which really got you guys all stirred up. See, when was the last time that a sporting event caused such discord in the Mancave?
On this kind of level?
A non-sporting event, really.
Yeah, somewhat an exhibition event, maybe.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. I'm not sure that I can really think of one. This is we're paving new ground here today.
It was so much so that during the morning meeting, Broccoli, that Dan actually had to tell me to save it. Unusual move. Like, we started going into it. Dan goes, good, save it, next. And that was a very good sign.
Well, Fritzy, you took a pretty strong stance against the timeouts. Is this a brand new look of a Todd Fritz that's ready to put his foot down and take a stance on issues?
I don't know. It was definitely one of those hammer moments, and I liked elements of it. I enjoyed watching with my son in the living room, and there were parts of it that I liked, but I didn't like the timeout. It still seems weird to me, even if we think down the road that's going to be for the betterment of the game to speed things up, living in a world of where generations have like a 5-second span of attention. But it was just weird seeing a clock. I didn't understand why they needed a timeout. I guess your arms can get tired swinging the bat so many times furiously in a row, but over 4 minutes, suck it up.
Remember that time you were knocking down that wall between you and McLevin with the bat ever so lightly? If you had a timeout during that in the middle,
I could have come back stronger.
You probably could have come back and really.
You know what? I
Because you were
appreciate saying that, but I don't think so. I don't think I would have. I don't think with all the timeouts in the world I would have looked any more powerful than that. That was going to be the extent of that.
All right, sir. Well, one of the top moments from last night was when the unofficial mayor of Cincinnati, Sean Casey, caught a foul ball barehanded, poor mono, and called in and told Dan how it all went down.
Josh Donaldson comes up, and I'm sitting next to Greg Amsier, and he's like, "Hey, is there any chance Josh Donaldson could hit one out here?" We were way back. We were past the foul ball, all the way down left field. I was like, "Yeah, dude, he's a big leaguer. He'd definitely hit it out here." So like 3 minutes later, I was checking the text, and Greg Amsier, I hear him say, "Here we go," and I'm like, I just look up, and the ball's like 20 feet from us. So I like jump up, I save Greg's life, I give him a quick elbow out of the way, I drop my drink, my phone, and I'm catching the baseball. It was unbelievable.
Did you barehand it?
Two-hand, bare hand.
Ouch.
The seam sliced my finger. It was epic.
I was watching live, and it was a real quick clip, and I was like, that looks just like Sean Casey, but why would he be in row 87? And then I rewound it, and I was like, that's Sean Casey. I think that might be Dave Winfield, and I know that's Chris Rose. And I took a picture of it, like, we could have a little fun with Sean Casey. He's a really good guest. And by the way, if anything ever happens to Jay Glazer, Fox should just hire Sean Casey to do Jay's voice and stuff Jay and put him on the set.
I wanted Dan to ask him about JPP's contract.
Yeah, or maybe
that's Brian.
Maybe the quarterback situation with Washington.
Yeah.
Well, Paulie, I see you have a glove on like a gentleman, but since wearing a glove to a game is taboo, which is the better preferred technique, catching a home run or foul ball with your beer or by hand?
You probably have better odds with your beer. It's kind of a good-sized cup. Now, I know myself, I'm not good at catching things, except for diseases. That was college. you know, I wouldn't use my beer because I would hate to waste beer. I'd rather go for the ball. I'm sure it would skip off. I'd probably do the thing where I scavenge. If the ball was coming down, I would probably wait for it to bounce off someone and try to grab it.
Now, if it goes in your beer, Paulie, do you go ahead and finish off that beer?
For sure, yeah. If there's anything left, I would absolutely chug it. A little bit of, baseball.
What if there's a pitcher you use Vaseline on the ball, or like that stuff that the Yankees
Pine tar.
pinata put on that? Yeah, like you want pine tar in your beer?
Pine tar is like a black and tan. It's like a little darkness with your amber-colored beer. I'm fine. I've drank a lot worse.
You can go back. You could go back to the concession stand.
Goes
and say,
back to your college days again.
You go back and say, "There's pine tar in my beer," and they're like, "No, we're not giving you a refund." Then you just go George Brett on them.
12-pack of Natty Light by choice in college. I mean, come on, I'll drink anything.
Seton, would you agree with Paulie's assessment to drink the beer following the catch of the ball?
Oh, there's no question. If you don't drink the beer, just don't ever go to a baseball game ever again.
Correct.
You can't, but take out the wet ball and be like, No, you have to drink it. Although the number one way to catch a foul ball is something that I always think of as a statue. You got a powerful stance, you got a beer in one hand, just grab it, one-handed, and drink your beer. That's the ideal way to catch a baseball.
There's a lot of upside to that move, too, because if it bounces off, you're like, well, it was one hand, no big deal. You're not a professional. But if you happen to make the one-hand stab.
Bang. Got it.
Remember the dude a couple weeks ago? Beer, baby, one-hander. He ended up on the Dan Patrick Show the next day.
There you go. Got it right here. Here you go, youngster.
Yeah, one man not afraid to catch a home run or a foul ball while holding a Nutrisystem snack bar. Todd Fritz went ahead and dropped some mock headlines regarding the home run derby last night.
In Todd we trust, Frazier comes through for hometown fans. Jock-strapped, a snug win over Peterson. Down goes Frazier? I don't think so. Cincinnati, timing baseball and Boomer's hair painful to watch.
Wow, what?
Yeah, that was me.
Whoa. Fritzy.
I know, I don't know what that was all
And
about.
and you, of all people?
Big dead machine. Whip out your clocks all you want. Derby not arousing.
Paulie, did you?
I did. It wasn't off color. It wasn't FCC violation. Any home runs in that list?
Let me see. I like Jock strapped, a snug win over Peterson.
You know, Dan, he sort of criticizes these, but always asks for them. He goes, hey, Fritzy, you got mock headlines today? Which, even if Todd didn't, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I do. And then he just bangs out 15 of them.
Well, actually, remember, a caller yesterday called in and said we need more mock headlines. I think that emboldened Todd to write mock headlines today.
Right. One person out of 300 million wants them.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Dan said something this morning, just kind of in passing, what happened with the mock headlines, that you haven't done them in a while. So, he kind of guilted me into it like I've been going off doing it.
And then ripped you for...
Just
that's
one of those many no-win situations.
Yeah.
It's like, do some mock headlines. So I tried to quickly put a bunch together because he had brought it up, it was on his mind. So I thought, we'll do some off the home run derby. After I wrote them, I thought there were some decent ones in there, but I didn't feel strong like there was any.
But you still presented them.
I did. I didn't think there was any award winners in there, but I thought they were good enough to present, but definitely not my
Well, they got a reaction, which was good.
Yeah, reaction, positively or negatively.
Unless they're just totally beige and we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but
there wasn't a really bad one.
But the thing with
really
mock headlines, like today, if it's average, even if it's slightly above or below
Tainted
average,
meat gets a reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When
It's
you
got
eat it,
exactly though. You need the reaction.
It's got to be great or absolutely horrible, where you guys could just totally destroy me.
Dan doesn't have a big leg to stand on here though.
No.
If he's gonna be like, oh come on, Fritz, you gotta do better than that. Well, you just asked for them, and you keep asking for them.
Yeah.
Like if every time you threw a ball, it hit somebody in the nuts, and that person keeps asking you to throw them the ball, and it keeps hitting them in the nuts. At that point, it's their fault.
But that would be a great bit, though, if we could
That
put
would be
that
an
together.
excellent bit.
Coming up, we're talking Pete Rose and gambling.
Thanks, Brock.
Are you a gambling man? You got to bet on the surest thing out there, the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every truck can climb a hill, haul a boat, and do a trailer, whatever the hell you want to do with that. Hey, but not everybody's the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. That's our boy, the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. So glorious. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
This one from Playboy magazine was odd. That was his.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
What do you focus on?
His underwear.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. The pattern.
I kind of.
Oh, my God.
I was checking on his back.
I looked at. Oh, I see what you did with that.
We are back here on the box score. Pete Rose in full Ewok mode there. A gem of a photo found by Paulie there. Fritzy, how much would it take you to participate in a photo shoot like that?
It would take a lot. It would take a lot. It would take definitely some more weight loss and a lot more working out. And
Have you been approached
even
about
then,
taking photos?
I have not. And I, maybe back when I was like, between like the ages of 17 and 23, when I was really in my stride and just like going to the gym all the time. And for most people, your teens and early mid-20s when you're probably looking your best. But that particular those little short shorts and seeing Rose's thorns sticking out there, that's just,
better than no shorts.
It's better than no shorts.
I'm actually surprised though. I would think that Nutrisystem would consider doing before and after publicity shots for you.
I don't think I'm quite there yet, but if they came calling and thought that the transformation was significant enough that would really help the campaign, I would have to see what they would have in mind as far as how much I would have to undress for something like that. But at the very least, it would be flattering to think that would be something that they think would be best.
So far, no calls.
Yeah.
So far, no calls. It's more putting more and more clothes on if possible.
McLovin, with the spotlight being on Pete Rose tonight, do you think this is the first step in him being reinstated?
Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest here. I'm just going to cut through it. I really don't care anymore if he gets reinstated or not. I've totally lost interest in the subject of Pete Rose. I don't know what had happened. It was somewhere over the last 3 days. Somehow it jumped the shark.
I'll say over the last couple of years, frankly, for me.
Why is it? Is anybody with me on here? I used to be really interested in it, and now I just really don't care because he is what he is. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it does get exhausting after a while, especially when, just when you're like, he's got to get in. How could you not have the all-time hits? And then we find out this another shoe drops with
Maybe
more
that
lying.
Was it. That could have been
I think that was
But,
the whole,
I
as a
think
player, he bet too.
There's a sort of general malaise, if that would be the right.
He was a great
expression.
leader. Remember General Malaise? He was in the
Absolutely.
World War II.
Yeah. But just to baseball in general, because everybody's cheating, and then you're like, oh yeah, but what about Pete? He's got the thing, whatever. And stuff's like, yeah, okay, who cares?
How about this, Seton? Who do you got? Seton, do you have two-a-days making it on American Idol, or Pete Rose getting him back into baseball?
Holy smokes, that's a serious question. I forget what I said on the show today about that. Did we do that on the show today?
No, we didn't do that.
All right, so I'm not on record with that.
Tiger versus 2 days, right?
No, Tiger versus 2 days, but Pete versus 2 days. I'm gonna go Twos. Has a much better chance.
Oh yes.
Twos has a much better chance of going.
He's on the ballot.
He's got a legit chance of going right. He's actually on the ballot. Pete Rose can't even sniff a handshake.
How about final 10 for Twosers versus Pete Rose?
Well, I don't know if I'm willing to say.
Rose.
I think Pete Rose. I don't know that Twos is making it final 10. No offense. I believe in you, but I don't know if I believe in you that much.
Right, I believe in you to a certain level.
There's a certain degree of belief in your abilities, which I support very much. And I think at that point, if Twos made it to the top 10, it's like Rudy. Like they're gonna make a movie out of that, where you're like, look at this guy. He's got the heart, and he might not have the size of these other singers or whatever, or the vocal range of these other singers. But damn it, this kid's singing his heart out.
Broccoli, you heard us during the show.
Yeah.
Front Row and Dan said we all thought 2 days is going to get the
we were good friends.
The ticket to Hollywood. Yeah, we were supporting our friend and coworker. The back row, not so much. Do you believe that the front row said it because they meant it, or to look like they're supporting, like faux support? And the back rows actually should be applauded for being honest and giving their actual take.
I think the front row is honest and that they do want him to get through. I believe that the back row, of course, wants him to fail miserably. It's better content, but let me ask you this, Paulie. Right before they go to like the final 10 or so, they make over these people. They give them a sort of they redo the hair and all this. How would they redo 2-a-days?
Oh, he's got problems. He's worn camouflage shorts 2 days in a row on national television.
Do you go less or more Wambaki with the hair?
Yeah, you start with a men's stylist.
Right, you start by having a man style him as a man. That's a great direction. Let's start there.
Start there.
Fill in the details later.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, Brock, If you're ever looking for faux sentiment, don't look to the back row. The question was raised by Paulie.
He's Captain Faux Sentiment.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that the back row. See, the reason that I thought you guys actually voted against him, one, is because there's no way Todd wants someone to sing better than him and go far. And so, because he's the singer of the crew, and there's no way that Andrew wants somebody to get all that attention when it should be him getting more attention.
Actually, I thought
that's the reason.
No, the real reason it was a win-win situation. Either I win the bet or Choosers advances, and I know somebody who's in the quarterfinals of the American Idol.
That's
so
a
everybody wins.
Good spot to put yourself in.
Yeah, it was a win-win. Honestly, to be honest, we get more out of Choosers advancing. We all do. It's like a great story to tell.
Anyway.
I would totally I tell it already.
Well, I wonder that because remember, American Idol is a TV show. They're smart people. They're all about eyeballs. They know he's on another TV show.
Yeah. Right.
They're aware of what he does for a living. Let's not kid each other. He can sing. He can perform. There's no doubt about that.
So can a lot of people.
Right. A lot of people aren't on national television.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't have Dan Patrick possibly talking about him from week to week as he advances along the process and gets, a couple extra 100,000 eyeballs their way. I mean, I'm not saying they're telling their judges, hey, put this kid through, but I would, as a producer, I sure as hell would.
Wait, so you're telling me reality TV show is somewhat...
Oh, no. I don't want to spoil it for you. But if I was producing American Idol...
not for nothing, though, the further he goes, the further it's better for our show, too, because we'll sort of boomerang that audience.
Right.
There's not a lot of sports radio
But can Twos now enjoy the success based on what you're saying? Does he have to wonder in the back of his mind, the only reason they're putting me through is not because of my singing
this
ability.
entire thing.
This other show that he's going to be talking about.
I would rather be put through on false pretenses than not put through at all. But I mean, he's going to get put through if he can't sing it. The fans aren't going to.
When it's 1 a.m. in a bar in New York City and he's telling a girl he was in the quarterfinals of American Idol, he's not going to care what.
That's right.
How he got there.
Girl, guy, whatever.
Right there.
All right. Oh, and Clay Aiken, a former Marine, huge boost to the Armed Forces. All right, coming up, we're getting ready for the All-Star Game, box score style. Welcome back to the Box Score. Tonight, some of baseball's biggest stars and, of course, some of the Royals will be participating in Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. Why these guys may not know everything about the Midsummer Classic, that doesn't stop us from giving a quiz to ask them about the history of said game. We're going to divide the teams left and right. So it's Team Todd Pabst against Team Patty Mack. First up, Team Todd Pabst. Who has won the most home run derbies?
You mean single person, right?
Yes.
Prince Fielder won a couple.
Fielder's a good guess.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone who's won 3. I thought Prince Fielder won twice.
Need your answer,
I
gentlemen?
just remember.
Go your first guess.
We're going to go Prince Fielder.
Was it Prince Fielder?
That's pretty great.
I'm sorry.
That's great.
We were looking for Ken Griffey Jr. with 3.
Boom.
Did you guys know it was Griffey?
Yeah, McGuire didn't win that famous one. We were talking about.
All right, he lost to, what's his name? All right, Team Patty Mack, in what year was the first MLB All-Star Game ever played?
Well, Carl Hubble struck out like that Hall of Fame lineup in the 30s or 40s. So 1928.
Can we take a guess if they get it wrong?
1935.
Is anyone correct?
I thought this was 86. It could be 29.
1933. 1933.
Dude, that was pretty damn close.
You should have given us a 5-year window there.
Creepers.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, gentlemen. All right, Team Todd Pabst, who is the all-time leader in the All-Star Game home runs?
Career home runs in the All-Star Game.
Reggie. This is tough. No, without multiple choice. This is kind of.
I'll put you in it's in the Midwest.
I know, but in almost 90 years of All-Star games, who's got the most homers with no clues?
I'll give you a clue. He's a Cardinal. He's a Cardinal.
He's a Cardinal.
Oh,
McGuire?
that's interesting.
Or is that too easy, McGuire?
Stan Musial.
Oh,
Is it Stan Musial?
First thing I do is drop down and see.
Stan.
Very nice. All right, team Patty Mac, you're up. How many ties have there been in the history of the MLB All-Star Game? Ties we're looking for.
Let's-
Not
well,
won
there's
by
one big
managers
one
either.
that we all know about.
Let's say that's the only
I'm
one.
just gonna say that's the only one.
There's been one.
Miller Park.
Is it just one? As with the other one, you were close. There had been two, 1961 and 2002. Team
You guys don't
Todd
remember the
Pass.
1961 big tie?
Yeah, one more. How many All-Star games? How many All-Star Game MVPs has A-Rod won?
This is a trick question, which none.
I'll say none times. My daughter says
my
none
first
times.
Is it none times?
None times.
First thing I do is drop down and see.
Bam.
No one's voting for him to win anything. Are you kidding me? It's a vote.
Back in the day, he was like the hero of the Mariners. This poor guy stuck in a terrible team.
I just like crushing Mitch Williams.
But he was going up again Jeets then, same position.
Yeah.
Nobody's beating Jeets.
That's tough. All right, one more for Team Patty Mac. Who has got more wins in the All-Star Game, the American League or the National League?
American League.
Did the National League go on a huge run, and then the American League went
I
on
think
a
it's
huge
still the
run?
American League.
Is there any other? Is there a
There you
possible
go.
other answer?
The Independents.
I go with the American League.
Was it the American League?
Yeah, remember, like, Dan was talking about Pete Rose. Because Dan was talking about how Pete Rose always wanted to win it, and how the National League dominated the All-Star Game.
You gotta. Who said that?
Can we steal?
We're talking about when Pete Rose
Fritzy?
slid into
We
Ray
steal?
Fosse.
We're
And
gonna-
Dan goes, that embodied what the National League thought of the
Hold on,
All-Star
we
Game.
wanna
I
get our
was trying to
steal.
look
We're gonna steal and go National League. Oh, the answers are there.
Yeah, was
Put
it
on
the
the board.
National League?
National League.
Yeah.
We say National League.
Yes, they'll give you a bell. There we go.
That was a check swing.
Just wanted to see him.
He grooved that
all
one
right.
in for you.
That was a check. I
Congratulations
didn't even
to
go over the words.
Paulie and Todd. You are the victors today, and that was a great swing by Fritzy. All right, this is the box score, and we are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, does not need one. And yes, it would have won for the hometown last night. Would have knocked one out, and Sean Casey would have caught it, because that's how things go down. Guts, glory, Ram. We are closing up shop here at the Box Score Bar. Last night, Chris Berman treated us to a course of backs during the Home Run Derby, and you guys pondered on whether or not he should tone it down a bit. That's when the Dan Patrick Show players took to the stage.
Boomer, come on in, have a seat.
In Todd we trust.
I know. You know I love your little nicknames. I know you got a plane to catch. I know you're excited about heading out to Cincinnati. So, in this new age of innovation and social
Fritz always reminds me of Schlitz, and I love a good beer. What? How's the golden boy? Is he doing well?
He's doing terrific.
Yeah, tell Dan I said hello. What?
You must be tied with the whole back shtick, and I'm sure that you want to come up with something new and creative for the viewers. So just curious as to what you
It's
had
my
in mind.
signature.
Of course.
You want more backs? You got it. I gotta go. Thank you, Fritzy.
We were actually
Tell Ravi I said hello, and I'll see you
the
later.
focus group
What?
say not to do.
Back.
Brilliant. I love it. It's such. Dan really, like McLevin had just said, Dan really dove into that one. Like maybe he's been doing that impression for a little while. Not sure.
And for you kids at home, you'll be shocked to know that was unscripted and unrehearsed.
Right.
That was all off the cuff.
But I tell you, Fritzy, you nailed every executive line. Like you could. I can picture you hiring and firing.
I was trying to tap into my neutral, vague, not taking one side or the other, not offending.
You got executive
but
written
not
all
being-
over you.
So,
Middle management. Here we come.
make the person feel good, but you still try to get your point across without.
Yeah, lie to everybody.
Yeah, just kind of say what they want to hear.
Boomer is sort of a larger than life guy there, though. I mean, when he walks through the hallways, it's like, whoa, Chris Berman's here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Like, he's not supposed to be here. He's a legend. Like, remember the scene in
supposed to see
Fast
them.
Times at Ridgemont High when Jefferson's there? Because, like, I thought he just came in for games. Like, the first time I saw it, I was at ESPN for like a year and a half before I saw Chris Berman. And I worked right next to the Sports Center set. I could throw a rock to it. Never saw the
Sneaks
guy.
in through a back
He
door.
comes in every once in a while.
They, like, all of those dudes sit in like the war room, it's called there, right? And they have like a big spread, and it's all the NFL guys, and they're all watching the games, and it's like Boomer, Ditka, Chris Carter. At the time, it's Salisbury was probably there. There's like all of these people there, and I used to produce the NFL shows there, and so on the weekend for like one season I did, and you would have to go up to the war room to get whoever you needed.
Yep.
And there was like, that was an intimidating ass room to walk into, where you'd like open up the door and like, excuse me, sir, there's like Hall of Fame code, like, Mr. Ditka, we've got like 5 minutes, like, can you do that?
they're really in the
and he's
middle
not
of
rushing
watching
for
the game.
anybody, not rushing for anybody,
God,
and you're
it's
like,
terrifying.
excuse me, sir, Mark Ditkus, can you come down and brutal.
You try to communicate with the rest of the staff, like, because it's taking longer. He's supposed to already be there in the studio, and it's like you're not there yet because he's just slowly.
Yeah, like, oh,
going
the
down
Open's
steps.
playing right now. We're never gonna get back for this. Like, do I run ahead? Do I wait with him?
We start chatting with somebody in the hall.
Yeah.
Hey, I say, well, I have to really need to get you.
Brutal.
All right, to a man who never gets starstruck, Todd Fritz, who's on tomorrow?
Scott Van Pelt will join us from St. Andrews to discuss some British Open coming up. Rich Eisen will join us. And quickly looking ahead to Thursday, we're going to be in the New York City studios. Haley Joel Osment and Bill Hader will both be joining us.
Bill Hader! Musical guest.
Stefan, all right. Thanks for watching the show. Tomorrow we'll be back, same time, same channel. And the podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!